So, जो एक मिनट
This could be good for me. Lately I was feeling like I need a purpose. But when you talk to me, give me the impression that I won't scratch your surface. And I could walk for days, searching for your praise. But is it even there to find?
now I start with the introduction of Mr. Mohit Chaudhary sir.
Name in wealth management sector to today's session. It gives me great pleasure to introduce one of our resource persons today, a renowned name in wealth management sector, Mr. Mohit Chaudhary. Mr. Mohit Chaudhary is a managing partner at Profit Gate Investment Advisors, which is a boutique investment advisory with over rupees 350 crores of assets under advisement. They are highly experienced and updated on portfolio construction across equity and fixed income investments. And in all service and features, they offer a complete solution, which is a blend of research, advice, and execution. Prior to this, he was Vice President at Kotak Securities, where he led Mumbai and rest of Maharashtra regions for over 13 years. He was also associated with HDFC Life as Manager Sales early in his career. Mr. Mohit holds an MBA degree from Delhi University. His areas of expertise include wealth management and client service management. We are truly privileged to have Mr. Mohit with us. All the participants will make the best use of this session. Thank you.
Welcome, Mohit sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Pooja. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Great.
Sir, I request you to begin with the session.
Yeah, I'll do that. My screen is visible?
Yes, sir.
Fine. Thank you. A very, very warm good afternoon to all the student participants. Let me first of all thank all the organizers, previously Lokman Tilak Management Institute and Research Institute, International Journal of Management Studies, Pune, and Dr. Burgate, the main sutradhar of this session, and Mr. Karthik, the Dean. So it's an immense pleasure to be with you guys. And आप लोग के लिए थोड़ा सा problem है that you have to bear with me for next say 45 to 50 odd minutes. So let's get the rules of the game for next 45 minutes. Let's make it a very interactive session. So I'll keep you interacting by way of chat box. So let me see. Are you all guys ready for this workshop? Can I have some chat box with the type? Can you type ready for that this meeting? If you guys are ready, then I'll start. If you're not typing on the chat box, then I'll not start. So I can see the chat box ringing now. Great. Awesome. See, let me just get a brief profile about you guys. I am being told by organizers that you all are probably, most of you are students, few faculties. So can you help me with your current occupation? Student, if you're a student, please write student. If you're a faculty, please write faculty. If you're a professional, please write pro, whatever you feel comfortable. Then let this message goes to everyone, not to me alone. Tapan, Rashita, Vrushab, this go to all, not to me alone. If that is being allowed by the host. Students, great. Few more. Predominantly students. Perfect. So next 40-45 minutes we'll understand basically how we should manage money and how we can use stock market as an instrument to create wealth for us. So let's start the show. Say I'll keep it very simple, being a first session of the day, so that you don't get bored. So let's understand what is the importance of saving money. Say once you all students will start working during the next few years, you start earning, you'll have remunerations. Then what is more important for you is to keep a certain portion of your earning to put into investments, so that you can over a period of time create wealth that will in turn will create a regular income stream for you. So what is more important is creating wealth over a period of time. See, this is what will happen in case if you don't have a disciplined saving or disciplined investment approach. So a lady in the right will be will look like the state of mind of yours on, and if somebody is disciplined in his investments or savings, that's a man in the left. So you have to decide what kind of mind frame you want your to be yourself in next few years, few decades from here on. So disciplined investment, disciplined approach will help you to have a very comfortable and enjoyable life in years to come. So let's understand what is saving and what is wealth. थोड़ा सा boring हो सकता है, but please bear with us. This will help you to understand how you can create wealth for yourself. Over a period of time, wealth is basically creating assets जो आपको regular income देंगे over a period of time, and you will be able to create yourself another income source besides your remuneration or salary or business income, so that you have a very peaceful income source for years to come. So basically you're creating a financial security which give you regular source of income over a period of time. That can be any assets. That can be a real estate, can be a stock market portfolio, can be direct equity portfolio, can be funds, whatever and can be a rented real estate which give you a regular income. So this is how you have to create a pool of savings into a wealth, so that you have a disciplined and a very comfortable futures from here on. A very important lesson for you guys is to understand what is compound interest and why this is called the eighth wonder of the world. I'm not going to ask you the first seven, but what I can tell you is compound interest is a great asset which works in your favor if you are into investment side. If you are on a borrowing side, then you pays that compound interest. So what you need to do over a period of time is to avoid EMIs and interest payment outgo. What you need is कि आपके assets, आपके stocks, आपकी savings are compounding over a period of time. So far so good, guys. Can I see some? So far so good. If you have any queries, please put it on the chat box. I'll try to answer all your queries over a period of time. Say, I'll just give you a number, how to calculate a compound number, compound interest. A very simple calculation is, I think you guys must be knowing, or maybe student phase to nahi hoga. Say, that's a rule of 72. Say, if you want to understand how your money going to double in how many years, you just have to follow a simple rule called rule of 72. So if your money get doubles in 10 years, that means how much interest you earn? It's very simple. Say 72 divided by the number of years you took to double your money is your interest earning. So if you're basically doubling your money in 10 years, so you're earning an interest, compound interest of 7.2%. If you're earning in doubling your money in 5 years, then you're basically earning an interest of almost 20%. 72 divided by 5. So you can do a calculation and understand what kind of interest your assets or your savings is earning for yourself. So I'm basically covering a basic stuff because of this. This is the first session. So another a great picture of how power of compounding works is, have you seen any snowball effect? A YouTube video, or if you've been to Kashmir or you've been to any hill station, a simple small snowball over a period of time, once it comes down from the hill, it becomes a big shed. So this is how a compounding of your money, and that's the power of compounding happens. A very simple explanation of how, say, if you're able to compound your capital, say at say 15, say let's say 10%, your money will be 8 times in 20 years, or just 10% compounding. So if you do it at 10% for next continuously for 20 years, you are able to compound your capital, and your capital will become 8 times. You heard it right, yes, 8 times next few years. That's the power of compounding. Say why investments are very important is, if you forego some part of your current consumption today, then you can create as many futures over a period of time. A very simple depiction. When you forego a certain level of reasonable consumption is okay. Anything excess consumption, if you can avoid and save it over a period of time, you'll have huge savings for yourself over a period of time in next 5, 10, 20 years. A simple calculation which you guys will understand how power of compounding works for you is, say for example, if you save say 1000 rupees a month, or just meager 1000 rupees, even students of your age can say, let's say 30 years, 1000 rupees every month for next 30 years. If you put it in a decent any instrument which compounds over a period of time, say if you're able to compound in equity markets at 15%, a meager 1000 rupees will become close to 1 crore. Yes, you heard it right, 1 crore in next 30 years. Say 1000 rupees a month, that means आपने 10 साल में कितना दिया, is 1,20,000 rupees. Next 10 years में आपने लिया 120 and 120. So total capital आपने जो invest किया है, which is just 3.6 lakh rupees. But because of the compounding, which is for a long duration of 30 years, this money will become almost a crore. So it's a very simple, very doable stuff. If you can do now, start a simple investment into a basic mutual funds or equities wherever you feel comfortable with the asset class. I'll come to it later part of the presentation. That this is how the power of compounding is. So last 4-5 years of the time frame, compound your capital in a phenomenal way. Same way, if you do it for another 5 years, say you're done with 30 years, if you do it for another 5 years, your capital will be almost 2 crores. You heard it right, almost 2 crores. So that's the power of compounding any investments on instrument gives you. So how you feel, guys? It is possible. Can you guys do it? Can I have some chat box ringing? Possible doing a simple investment of 1,000 rupees, taking out from your pocket? Good, good to go. So this is how the investment works for you over a period of time. See, let's now try and understand what is investments and what is speculation. A picture depicts a perfect stuff. Speculation is where you're risking your capital for a particular event to happen. If that event happens, you get a phenomenal amount of money. If doesn't, you lose your capital. So that's basically a speculation is. Investment is where you are keeping your capital safe, but it is compounding over a period of 3, 4, 5, 10 years. So this is how your investment books build up over a period of say 5 years, 10 years. So we need to avoid speculation and we need to get into a time mind frame of investment. This is how we need to invest for our life so that we can get some maximum returns out of it. So speculation part, say lottery, doing derivatives. If you're not a professional traders in stock markets, commodity trading, these are basically type of speculation. Investing into stock market, investing into funds, investing into fixed deposits, investing into real estate. These are real investments for you. This will how they'll compound slowly, but they'll give you a definite returns over a period of time. So we need to avoid speculations. Say, what happens is a very famous saying by Warren Buffett is by investing, what you're doing is you're becoming rich slowly. But nowadays, nobody wants to become slowly. But by investing, you are basically becoming rich slowly, but you're sure that you become a rich. By speculation, you're basically hurting yourself in case your bets go wrong. We'll discuss about speculation also over a period of next few slides. This is very important. Let's understand, being students, what are the options where you can put money to work. Have you guys have your saving bank account? If you have your saving bank account, can you put it on chat box, please? Yes, I have a saving bank account. Or you can say yes, SA, or anything. If you have any bank account in your name, put it. Say, why is only few guys are responding? Where are the rest of the guys? Don't see new names coming. So can you help me? What kind of saving interest you get on your saving bank account? Anyone knows it? What interest nowadays you get in your saving bank account? 6%. Which bank is giving you 6% now? IDFC is the only bank which gives 6%. I hope you're not using cooperative bank. Avoid cooperatives. Stick to nationalized bank. Stick to well-run private bank like HDFC Kotak. Prajwal, where are you putting money? 6%. Which bank? Okay, let's understand how saving bank account works. Say basically it's a bank account which give you nowadays 2.75% interest Yes, you have to try 2.75% interest only. So let's understand how we can use these instruments to the fullest so that we can create a capital for you. So saving bank account is basically you're keeping that amount, that portion of your money, which you want to use it or that financial incidents or financial liability जिसके लिए आपने वो पैसे रखे हैं is very nearby. It can be few days, few weeks, a few months only. Anything beyond that should move to a higher instrument so that you can get a better interest. Saving bank account, say, for example, my monthly expense is 10,000 rupees. So I'll keep only 10,000 rupees in my saving bank account. Rest, I'll move to a better asset so that I can get a better returns on automatic. We will not compromise on the liquidity part. So first is a saving bank account. Once you're done with the saving bank account, then you can look at fixed deposits. These are basically with the same bank you can do it, but please do it with a decent bank. Don't get into hanky panky small banks. Avoid banks, small banks. So fixed deposit is basically you're parking your money from 6 months to 1, 2, 3, 4 years, and uh, I'll get a certain portion of interest on that. Say for nowadays, SBI gives you 5.1 odd percent interest in from 1 to 3 year deposit. The rest of the banks are all nearby. So fixed deposits is a great source of and one of the most traditional source of keeping money to work for you. But mind you, fixed deposits आपके इन्फ्लेशन को भी बीट नहीं करता है, अपन उसको भी डिस्कस करेंगे. Third options हो गया is debt funds. Are you guys comfortable with mutual funds? If yes, please can you have some chat box ringing with yes and no. How comfortable you guys are with mutual funds, debt funds के बारे में? Can't see any response. You guys understand mutual funds? Wow. Vedant understands. As a few are saying no. Okay. Thoda. Superb. Kritika says no. Okay. Who else? You're comfortable with mutual funds, or I'll have to give you some certain understanding about mutual funds as well. No. Ruby says no. Yes, I understand. Wow. Rashmita says she understands. Okay, super. So I'll brief you what is a mutual fund is, because we need to understand debt funds and liquid funds. Mutual fund is basically a pool of investor who invest for a particular goal. So इसमें who owns the money and who manages this? Say there is this basically mutual fund manage करने वाली companies को बोला जाता है asset management companies. We call them AMCs. So there are trustees and fund managers who manage your money. So trustees are those people who hold your assets in a proper place so that आपको capital risk नहीं आता है वहाँ पे. So trustees are personally responsible for in case something goes wrong. So trustees will be put to jail in case they do any mishappening on that. So there is trustee, and then there is a fund management team. So fund management team will do where they want to में करना है, debt में करना है, liquid में करना है. So this is how a mutual fund works. It's a basically pool of investors. Say for example, say we have 102 participants and we feel कि हम लोग को invest करना है and we want to invest for say 6 months. So and for 6 months we want a particular returns चाहिए. Say we are looking for say 4%. So what we do, we'll pool all 102 participant, put in 10,000 rupees and create a pool of say 10,000 multiplied by 100 people. कितना होगा भाई, जल्दी बोलो. Math students नहीं है यहाँ पे, all are management students. Say the pool will be approximately 10 lakh rupees. So we'll hand over this 10 lakh rupees to a fund manager who will keep this money in a safe asset and gives back this 10 lakh rupees with interest to all of us in 6 months. So what we'll do is, say we'll keep a very simply 10,000 rupees interest on 4%. If we put it for 6 months, so 2,000 रुपए का interest plus 10,000 rupees will come back to us, not 2,000 rupees. So this is how a mutual fund works. So say now broadly mutual funds are categorized into predominantly two or three types. One is equity funds, जो आपका पैसा स्टॉक मार्केट में यानी कि स्टॉक्स में पैसा इन्वेस्ट करेंगे. So those are called equity funds. And other funds are called debt funds because they invest in fixed income instruments like bonds, bills. So basically, there is no capital risk, but they give you a certain interest coupon, say 5%, 6%, 4% type of. So broadly, mutual fund is equity and debt differently, and later on एक mixed category होता है which we call it as hybrid, which is a combination of debt and liquid funds. So this is a predominantly why you should go to debt funds, because debt funds and liquid funds give you a liquidity of 1 day and give you superior returns than fixed deposits, and give you better tax advantage. Say if you put money to work in a debt fund for 3 years, so a capital gain advantage होता है आपको, which you pay a much lesser tax if you take a long term advantage time, a long term capital gain uh, funds. So that's why, so they offer you better liquidity, stability, and they give you a better tax adjusted return. So debt funds is extremely a superior product than a fixed deposits. Liquid fund is basically those funds where you can put money for few days to few weeks. Say for example, I'll put you, say I have money in my saving bank account or current account if I'm a business owner. So I have say 5 lakh rupees, and I can't use it. I don't want to use it for next 2, 3, 4, 5 days, 10 days. So I can park it in a liquid fund and earn 3, 4, 5% return, which is better than a saving bank account returns. So liquid fund is basically, as the name suggests, give you extreme liquidity, stability of the funds and the capital, and give you some better returns than a saving bank account. Now, another investment avenue for you is commodities, which is the most traditional and most sort out investment avenue for Indian culture is gold. आपके और मेरे हर एक के घर में there is a certain portion of gold. Every student house will have certain portion of gold in form of jewelry, in forms of biscuits. So that's the most traditional way of keeping your money safe, and gold being a excellent hedge against inflation. Say gold are extremely liquid, you can sell at any point of time. Now we have sovereign gold bonds fund as well, which give you 2.5% interest, and those have a lock-in of 8 years, which is by government of India. So gold is being an extremely and most popular investment avenue in our household. If you're going to ask your father, that or how much percentage of our asset in gold, he'll say, yes, we have a decent portion of our assets in gold. So that's a culture. Then another very famous avenue is real estate. Perfect. So chat box ringing. I always like it. Wow. Then real estate. This is another most popular investment avenue right now. People buy flats, real estate plots, buy shops, which give them rent. This is an excellent avenue to create capital for you over a period of time. Bonds are basically give you a fixed coupon of interest rate, like NHI tax-free bonds, or it can be issued by, basically bonds are issued by corporates or by institutions, which give them a certain portion of coupon. And then is the why we and you are meeting today is equities. This is the most sort of this is the only instrument which can give you far superior returns than any asset class, whether it is real estate or fixed deposits. So if you want to create a capital over a period of time, direct equity or equity based mutual funds or ETFs give you an excellent opportunity to create capital for you. So far so good. This is a very important slide for you guys to understand key what are the avenues of investment, what you can invest in. So far so good, guys. Can I have some yes and no? If you have any queries, I'll take it till now and then I'll move forward because I'll be getting a little technical now. Rashita asked me which is the best investment account to do. I'll answer you over a period of time. If I don't answer you by before closing, please remind me. I'll definitely gonna answer you. So I have kept it very simple till now. अगर जिसको समझता है वो थोड़ा सा बोर हो रहा होगा, but this is very very important. Say you need to have certain portion of saving bank account investment, some fixed deposit, some liquid, some commodities allocation, some real estate, and equities, of course. So it should be a platter of your investments. We'll discuss equity now over a period of time. Say, you guys comfortable with the language English or put in Hindi as well? Some. Can I have some feedback, guys? English is okay. Hindi, Marathi में को आती नहीं यार. No, comfortable in English. Ruby says comfortable in English. English, Richa says English. We are okay with both. Wow. Aditya says mix. Great. Say, अभी तक अपन जो देख रहे थे, we were looking at कि what are basic investment avenue. Now look at what are the basic two villains of wealth creation and what basic our objective is to create capital. Why we want to create a capital? Why we basically want to create capital or invest in any asset class is to beat inflation. Say if I am keeping this sum of money and I'm not consuming this money, ये मैं पैसे को खर्च नहीं कर रहा हूँ, इसलिए कर रहा हूँ कि मैं आगे जाके इसका कोई यूटिलाइज कर सकूँ. Say can be buying yourself a scholarship, or can be a higher education के लिए, or can be for an MBA, better MBA degree, or wherever you feel, or MS. So basically your investment revenue should beat inflation. Then only the basic objective of saving or investing works. So this is the first villain of wealth creation. So we need all our assets to give you a better returns than inflation. Then is tax. Yes, tax. Whenever we invest and we take it out, there is a tax incidence. Say for example, equity taxation is अगर आप long term के लिए invest करते हैं तो it is 10%, and if it is short term then tax incidence is 15%. Say for example, you've bought something, any stock आपने आज खरीदा and you've sold before 365 days, the tax incidence is 15%. If you sold after 365 days, the tax incidence is 10% only. For all debt instruments like fixed deposits, saving bank account, debt funds less than 3 years, it is all added to your income. So if you're taxed at 10%, 20% or 30%, you will be taxed at that. So anybody knows what are the current tax slabs these days? Any idea what is the current income tax slab these days? कोई idea है दोस्तों? What is the highest tax bracket we pay these days? Any idea? Siddhant says no idea. No. Should we talk about it? कि बोर हो जाएंगे आप लोग. Fine. Up to this is for current financial year 2021. Up to 10 lakh, up to 5 lakh rupees, you pay 10%. Maximum tax slab is 10%. If your income crosses from 5, you cross from 5 lakh rupees per annum to goes up to 10 lakh rupees, you pay above 5, you pay 20%. And if your income crosses 10 lakh rupees, the tax structure you get into after 10 lakh rupees is 30%. And it keep on increasing every with different slabs. Now HNI's को बहुत ज़्यादा टैक्सेशन होता है. So 50%, once you cross 50 lakh rupees of annual income, it crosses more. Once you cross 2 crores, the taxation slab goes to 37% plus some surcharges like Krishi surcharge and some surcharge. And once you cross 5 crores of annual income every year, your taxation slab is 42%. So this is a huge taxation. So that's why we call them villain for our wealth. हमारे पैसे लेके जाते हैं भाई. ठीक है. Basic रखा है. So you can do it. Now let's look at key why equity is the only asset class which can create capital over a period of time and successfully being able to do it. So let's understand what is equity. Equity is basically the portion of business that belongs to the shareholder. Say for example, एक कंपनी ने मार्केट से अपना बिजनेस को एक्सपैंड करने के लिए बोरो किया. सो बोरो करती है मार्केट में, अपने शेयर्स इशू करती है 10 रुपीज 20 रुपीज या जो भी प्रीमियम पे, एंड यू एज अ शेयर होल्डर बिलोंग अ सर्टेन पोर्शंस ऑफ दैट इक्विटी ऑफ दैट कंपनी, एंड यू बीइंग पेड डिविडेंड्स, एंड जो अर्निंग्स होता है कंपनी का वो आपके ओवर पीरियड ऑफ टाइम बढ़ता है. So I'll share you ki how big success stories are there in equity markets. Basically now look at what is minority shareholders and majority shareholder is. Majority shareholder is, for example, if I am starting a company and I'm given a certain portions of equity to outside public, so I'll be the majority shareholder because I am the business owner. And if I'm buying a stock shares of a public listed company, I'll be a minority shareholder because the major shareholder can be the other business owner or can be a government, can be anything. So what is the majority shareholder mindset is? Say for example, any one of you become an entrepreneur over a period of time in your career, you want to start a business. I'll give you an example. This is a very simple example. This happened in एक हम लोग की friend थी. She was an excellent cook, and first she used to do cooking for small parties, small birthday parties, and she slowly wanted to start something of her own. So what she did is she took 20 lakh rupees of loan from friends. Say I'll just put your numbers. Say for example, एक फ्रेंड ने उसको 5 लाख रुपीस दिया, ए ने, बी ने 5 लाख, सी ने 5 लाख एंड डी ने 5 लाख, एंड उसने खुद 10 लाख रुपीस डाल के एक टोटल इक्विटी कैपिटल बनाया 30 लाख रुपीस का. And that 30 lakh rupees says she started her couple of stores, and after setting up couple of stores in first year, she was able to generate a profit of, say for example, say 6 lakh rupees. So what is the portion of profit every shareholder got? So there are 4 shareholders, and I personally own 2 shares. So these are basically 6 shares. So what is the per share earning? Can somebody help me? Say 6 lakh she made, and क्या कैलकुलेशन में सब ढीले, ऐसा क्यों भाई? 0.75 तपन कैसे भाई? 1 lakh. Siddhant got it right. Say total profit she made was 6 lakh rupees, and total shareholders was 6. 4 outsiders, and I had two I was owning. So the per share profit or earning, we call it, is 1 lakh rupees. Say now what happens is, for example, because the business was doing okay, she wanted to borrow more money to open couple of stores more. So what happens is she was looking for more equity. Okay, no problems, yaar. ठीक है. So she wanted to borrow another 10. She was looking कि अभी मेरे को all India expand करना है. She wants to expand to say nearby towns. So she was looking to raise 5 crores so that she can have another 20 stores up for her cooking biryani stuff for वैसे. But in the meantime, the first investor था, he wanted to sell, and he was going outside India, so he said, boss, I need my money back. Now you guys tell me, at what level that share should a sell to someone else. उसने 5 लाख में लिया था, उसने 1 लाख का प्रॉफिट कमाया, ठीक है, जो उसको डिविडेंड मिल गया, एंड वो अभी वो शेयर्स को बेचना चाहता है, तो क्या भाव पे बिकना चाहिए? कैन समवन हेल्प? 5 लाख पे बिकना चाहिए कि ज्यादा पे बिकना चाहिए, कि 6 लाख पे बिकना चाहिए, कि 10 लाख पे बिकना चाहिए? मोर गुड, दैट्स इट. एक रिस्पॉन्स बस. आई अंडरस्टैंड इट्स अ पोस्ट लंच सेशन, बट इतना बोरिंग नहीं है यार. है क्या बोरिंग? So fine, we'll get into valuation over a period of time according to market conditions. Akshay, 4 shareholder में क्या रहेगा? No, I'll come to it over a period of time. ठीक है. So what is a minority shareholder is to invest in money or future earning, and basically he is a sleeping partner and understand what is the business is earning for himself. ठीक है. Let's move forward. Say. This is a very famous saying for Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett, if you guys don't know, please start reading and following him. He is one of the wealthiest man as an investor in worldwide. Now I think he is now 4th richest person in the world. He's just an investor. He don't do any business. So what the mindset he says is, I'm a better investor because I'm a businessman, and I'm a better businessman because I'm an investor. इन्वेस्टर को जब तक आपको आप खुश रखोगे तो आपके इन्वेस्टर्स हमेशा आपके साथ रहेंगे. सो यू नीड टू डू अ बिजनेस, और इफ यू वांट टू बिकम अ गुड एंटरप्रेन्योर एंड यू वांट टू टेक कैपिटल फ्रॉम आउटसाइड, देन you need to be a good investor first and then a better businessman. Say, now let's look at what is business. A very simple, what exactly is business is? What do you understand by business, guys? Any feedback? What is business? बिजनेस क्या होता है? क्या होता है बिजनेस? सर अपन ने टाइमिंग थोड़ा पोस्ट लंच कर लिया था. अर्निंग प्रॉफिट्स, गुड सिद्धांत, वेरी गुड. सोर्स, व्हाट एल्स? So you guys understand business. So let's move forward. Let's look at what is the basically what is a different type of products. Do you understand? Look, girls will definitely understand the first product, which is called dairy milk, which is extremely a unique product. Can you look at and understand what is the second picture which says it's a normal chocolate with no brand. So any business which is a me too business which doesn't have a brand, उसके उसको it's a me too brand. People don't understand the cost. People don't relate it to a quality product. So आपको उसकी pricing हमेशा खराब मिलेगी. But if you are unique and you are able to create consistent quality and you're able to give your customer a great experience of consuming your product, then it is always a unique. So whenever you want to invest in stock market or wherever, always look at for business idea which is unique. ठीक है? A unique business franchise will always give you high pricing power and high returns if you invest it. Can you guys give me a unique brand which you guys use every day? आप एक ऐसा कोई ब्रांड बता सकते हैं जो आप लोग रेगुलर यूज करते हैं and वो आपको अच्छे से and you feel very relaxed कि हाँ भाई ये है तो अच्छा ही होगा, खराब नहीं हो सकता है. Any brand which you want to put it? Can be anything. Amul, awesome. Amul's give you a taste of India. Amul is a brand which give you quality, and Amul is being known as a brand which give you excellent value for money. Dettol, wow, Haldiram, very good. So this why these guys are able to give you a great product is consistency and better experience of vis-a-vis peer group. से आज आपको पार्ले जी मतलब हमारे दादा भी खाते थे और हम भी खा रहे हैं और हमारे बच्चे भी खाएंगे. So that's a power of a great consumption business. Say any business which give you a great brand power and give you pricing power is a great business franchise to buy those equities. We'll come to it how to buy those equities. But if you look at any commodity business, you'll see any commodity business which doesn't have a brand, which that will give you extremely meager profit, and it will be a very volatile उसका curve रहेगा, volatile curve रहेगा. So any Me Too brand, मतलब जो आप जिसका brand recall नहीं कर सकते हैं, it is very commoditized. So you like you buying a grocery which is not packed. So, like a normal wheat or anything which is not packed properly or which is just a commodity, so there the margins for that promoter or a producer is going to be lowest. So, as a shareholder, we'll always like to buy brands rather than just a commodity. We'll come to it as an investor. कैसे बात करना है? Say another what antidotes of commodity business is. If you look at these two pictures, one is a low cost producer and the other one is an exception manager. Anything which is exceptional, which give you exceptional recall, which give you exceptional experience, anything that is always a brand. So whenever you want to invest, we always like to invest in brands rather than buying any low cost producer. A low cost producer can be anything. Say a very famous quote from Warren Buffett, which says, "Price is what you pay, and value is what you get." Say, you'll come to understand that, for example, if you're buying any company business or any product, we are buying for that value. So if the value and the price mismatch is there, then there is a problem. So when we talk about investing, when we are getting into थोड़ा सा stock market technique पे जाएंगे, आप लोग थोड़ा सा अटक सकते हैं. Let's look at what is investment करने के लिए जब हम actual stock market में जाते हैं buy करने के लिए कोई भी business को. So we need to look at value, what and how we determine a value. Say basically, whenever you want to buy a stock, you're basically buying a piece of business from that business owner. So you need to understand वो business अच्छा है या खराब है. Say, जैसे I'll give you an example. जैसे a very famous bank got listed in 1994. 1994 आप लोग थोड़े से शायद हाँ बॉर्न हो गए होंगे या बॉर्न होने वाले होंगे. से आज वो इंडिया का मोस्ट रेप्यूटेड प्राइवेट बैंक है. उसका इशू प्राइस आया था 94 में 10 रुपए पे. अगर किसी ने आईपीओ पे वो 10 रुपए पे शेयर खरीदा था, से फॉर एग्जांपल उस टाइम पे भी आप 100 शेयर खरीदते थे एंड आईपीओ पे 10 रुपए पे, तो टोटल आपने 1000 रुपए लगाए. एंड आपको मालूम है उसकी आज की वैल्यू क्या है? आज वो स्टॉक मार्केट की वैल्यू इन लास्ट say approximately 20-25 years is that 1000 rupees have become 15 lakh rupees. Only 1000 rupees have become 15 lakh rupees. The IPO price was 10 rupees and the brand and the business was HDFC Bank. So HDFC Bank is a consistent wealth creator for all its shareholders in last 26 years. And they're able to compound your capital from meager 1000 rupees in 1994 to 15 lakh rupees now. I'm not talking about the dividend, उसका जो dividend आता है वो dividend की बात नहीं कर रहा. So whenever you're buying a stock, please understand that you're buying a piece of business and you need to buy that business at right valuation. अगर आपने गलत value पे खरीदा है तो आपको नुकसान होगा. Say this is a very important understanding कि whenever you're buying a business or a shareholders, आप भी कोई भी equity खरीदते हैं तो आपको ओनर्स का पर्सपेक्टिव क्या है वो समझना बहुत जरूरी है. उसके साथ इंटरेक्ट करना, उसके इंटरव्यूज पढ़ना, उसके कॉल सुनना, what exactly he is looking in his business. So this is a very important perspective. Another very important perspective whenever you're buying business is keep a long term view. स्टॉक मार्केट में आप शॉर्ट टर्म के लिए प्लीज इन्वेस्ट मत करें, ठीक है. एंड whenever you are investing in stock market, please stick to core competency. If you're आपके अंडरस्टैंडिंग के बाहर जा रहे हैं, then you will be able कि आप गलत कर रहे हैं. एंड whenever आप भी स्टॉक मार्केट में इन्वेस्ट कर रहे हैं तो आपको अंडरस्टैंड करना है कि आप क्या खरीद रहे हैं, क्यों खरीद रहे हैं, क्या वैल्यू पे खरीद रहे हैं, एंड व्हाट इज योर एक्सपेक्टेशन। एक अच्छा आपको होमवर्क करना बहुत जरूरी है। इन नेक्स्ट फ्यू सेशंस विल डेफिनेटली ट्राई एंड वैल्यू बिजनेस कैसे करेंगे, एंड देन थिंक in terms of probability ki what exactly you are buying that business for, ठीक है। if your odds and understanding of that business is understanding is great and you feel कि ये सही वैल्यू पे मिल रहा है, then bet heavily. if you don't understand the business is me too and अच्छा नहीं है, ब्रांड्स नहीं है, तो प्लीज उस पर ज्यादा बेटिंग मत या ज्यादा इन्वेस्ट नहीं कीजिए। इफ यू अंडरस्टैंड कि हाँ सब कुछ सही है, ये बिजनेस का वैल्यू सही मिल रहा है हमने को, या नया शेयर होल्डर जो भी आपको टिप लगता है, इफ यू फाइंड दैट इज अ गुड, then please bet on that business. peer review देखना, हाँ देखना चाहिए, बिल्कुल देखना चाहिए, very important, but it's not the only thing. We'll discuss that as well. Kritika, very good. से ये जितनी भी आपने होमवर्क किया है, आपने अंडरस्टैंड किया बिजनेस को, उसको सही तरीके से वैल्यू किया है, डिस्टर्प्टर है, डिस्ट्रप्शन हो रहा है, क्या नया कंपटीशन का मार्केट शेयर कैप्चर कर रहा है, बट उसके बाद भी प्लीज कीप अ मार्जिन ऑफ सेफ्टी। इफ यू डोंट कीप अ मार्जिन ऑफ सेफ्टी, आपके पास पूरे के पूरे पैसे एक बिजनेस में लगा देंगे, देन देयर इज अ प्रॉब्लम। प्लीज डोंट डू दैट, ठीक है। आई थिंक आई विल ओपन अप फॉर अ Q&A रादर देन अंडरस्टैंडिंग आप लोग कहाँ तक कितना करना चाहिए। एक दिस इज अ वेरी इन्वेस्टमेंट एनालिस्ट चेकलिस्ट बहुत जरूरी है बिफोर यू बाइंग एनी बिजनेस। से व्हेनेवर यू बाय एनी स्टॉक यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड वो बिजनेस क्या करता है, उसका मैनेजमेंट कैसा है, उसके फाइनेंशियल्स कैसे हैं, बैलेंस शीट कैसे हैं, और अपन कैसे वैल्यू कर रहे हैं। वैल्यू करने के लिए आपको रेशियोज देखने रहेंगे, can be profit to book, can be PE, there are n number of valuation method जो आपको देखने हैं, बट आपको बेसिकली ये तीनों चारों चीजों पे ध्यान रखना है कि उसका बिजनेस कैसा है, वो कोई मीटू बिजनेस में तो नहीं है, कमोडिटी बिजनेस में तो नहीं है, वो ब्रांड्स पे है कि नहीं, मैनेजमेंट कैसा है, मैनेजमेंट बदमाश तो नहीं है, बैलेंस शीट से कैश तो निकालता नहीं है, मैनेजमेंट रिलायबल है क्या, उसके फाइनेंशियल्स कैसे हैं, बैलेंस शीट स्टडी होना बहुत जरूरी है, ठीक है। I think I'll open for a Q&A and understand ki how to value business ये सब करेंगे। Intrinsic value of the business is basically it's the total of cash of the company expected to generate over a period of time. ये इसको value करना जरूरी है। I think we have a decent time left for this is some wise words. Investing is a marathon, not a sprint. So please आप investment करते हैं stock market पे तो please वो मत करिए। पूजा मैम, कैन वी डू अ Q&A सॉर्ट ऑफ कि Q&A नहीं कर सकते हैं जूम पे? पूजा, आर यू देयर? सो आई वांट टू टेक फ्यू क्वेश्चंस सो दैट आई कैन आंसर दीज इनके क्वेरीज को। होस्ट इज देयर? पूजा मैम?
Yes, sir.
मैम, कैन वी डू अ Q&A ओपन सो दैट आई कैन सी देम एंड इंटरेक्ट बेटर? ये थोड़ा सा बोरिंग होता है इनके
Yes, sir.
क्वेश्चंस को।
Yes.
आप आई वांट टू टेक
Yes, sir. I will allow them to send the questions in chat box, sir.
आई एम रेडी टू टेक फ्यू क्वेश्चंस इनके, क्योंकि अलग अलग मैं अभी अंदर इक्विटी मार्केट्स में गया नहीं हूं, क्योंकि आई एम नॉट श्योर कि उनका अंडरस्टैंडिंग कैसा है। हमें बेसिक रिव्यू किया है, सो आई वांट टू टेक फ्यू क्वेश्चंस सो दैट अंडरस्टैंडिंग कि इनको क्या समझ में आ रहा है बच्चों को एंड व्हाट दे वांट। सो
Okay,
वी हैव
sir.
सम
I will
टाइम।
allow them. Okay,
प्लीज
I will
अलाउ।
allow them. Okay, sir.
Yeah, if anyone have a question can ask in a chat box. I like to answer, or you can ask in person.
Okay, sir.
Sir, how to open stock brokerage firm? अच्छा, open stock brokerage firm, वेदांत, कि तुमको अकाउंट खोलना है? You can unmute and ask a question, वेदांत।
नो सर, फर्म के बारे में ही पूछना था।
आपको एक स्टॉक ब्रोकरेज फर्म खोलना है?
हाँ।
मतलब ब्रोकिंग करना है आपको कि फर्म खोलना है?
नहीं सर, फर्म नॉर्मल अकाउंट तो खोला हुआ है।
अच्छा, आपका ब्रोकिंग अकाउंट है आपके पास?
हाँ सर।
सो आप कोई भी ब्रोकरेज के पास जा सकते हैं, लाइक मोतीलाल, कोटक, एंड आस्क देम कि हमको आपका सब ब्रोकर बनना है, तो यू कैन
अच्छा,
बिकम द
हाँ।
सब ब्रोकर। आप
हम्म।
कहाँ अभी खुद इन्वेस्ट करते हैं?
हाँ हाँ।
वेरी गुड, ऑसम। कौन से स्टॉक्स लिए आपने?
मैंने अभी थोड़े दिनों पहले कृति न्यूट्रिएंट्स और मैंने शायद ओएनजीसी के लिए। हाँ।
ओके, आप अपना ड्यू डिलिजेंस खुद करो बॉस, प्लीज। हाँ,
हाँ हाँ मैम, हाँ सर।
ठीक है। लक्ष्मण वांट्स टू अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट वी शुड सी व्हाइल गोइंग टू इन्वेस्टमेंट इन इक्विटी। बाप रे, Lakshman, can you unmute and ask me this question? I'd like to help you out. Lakshman, are you there?
Students, you can ask questions. You all are
Unmute
unmuted.
yourself one at a go.
Hello.
Do a Q&A.
Sir, this is Lakshman.
Yeah, Lakshman. Siv, what we should see while going to investment in equity? आप डायरेक्ट इक्विटी करना चाहते हैं कि फंड्स करना चाहते हैं, लक्ष्मण?
Sir, जैसे I was thinking whether we should go for long term or short term in equity. It can be a small cap or medium cap.
Start with the large caps. ऐसा आप देखिए, दो तीन चीजें हैं, मतलब बेसिक से व्हाटएवर यू लाइक अ कंपनी, आप किसका प्रोडक्ट अच्छा लगता है? से फॉर एग्जांपल आपको डोमिनोज पिज्जा अच्छा लगता है,
Yeah.
तो जुबिलेंट का स्टॉक देखो। से
Okay.
दिस इज अ ग्रेट वेल्थ क्रिएटर इन लास्ट से ऑलमोस्ट अ डेकेड। 400-500 रुपए पे कुछ लिस्ट हुआ था, एंड नाउ इट इज 2900 प्लस बोनस भी कुछ आया होगा। So whatever you're consuming and you feel it's a good business, say Domino's Pizza is a great business to own. It's a great consumption story. So understand consumption से लिंक करो। देखो आपको अगर उसका आपका एक्सपीरियंस ऑफ द प्रोडक्ट अच्छा है, देन स्टडी मैनेजमेंट कैसा है, उसकी बैलेंस शीट देखिए, अगर आप बैलेंस शीट देख सकते हैं क्या, उसकी अर्निंग्स कैसे हो रही है, एंड देन अंडरस्टैंड कैसा बिजनेस हो रहा है उसका, देन यू कैन थिंक अबाउट कि कैसे करना चाहिए। So this is the first hand experience है आपका। Say you like a brand and this is being a great disruptor है Jubilant Food। पहले कभी डिलीवरी होता नहीं था, पहले डिलीवरी करता है, डाइनिंग का एक्सपीरियंस अच्छा है, प्रोडक्ट अच्छा है, टेक्नोलॉजी बहुत साउंड है, आपकी एक्सपेक्टेड एक्सपीरियंस को अच्छा रखा हुआ है, एंड वैल्यू क्रिएट कर रहा है आपके लिए। So
Yes, sir.
consumption से लिख करके आप करेंगे तो you'll be able to do better. Look at आप ब्रश कर दें, कोलगेट देखिए, a great
Yeah.
wealth creator in last so many years. कंजम्पशन लिंक है। हिंदुस्तान लीवर्स देखिए, बड़े बिजनेसेस देखिए, आप कौन सा बैंक अकाउंट यूज करते हैं, इफ यू लाइक योर बैंक, ट्राई टू वैल्यू दैट एंड अंडरस्टैंड एंड देन बाय दैट बैंक।
Okay, sir.
ठीक है,
Thank you.
थोड़ा सा वो देखो, बस बैलेंस शीट देखना सीखो। If you are a commerce student, please try and learn how to see balance sheet. Then उसके रिजल्ट्स देखिए, क्वार्टरली कैसे आ रहे हैं, उसका अर्निंग कैसे आ रहा है, उसका ग्रोथ कैसे हो रहा है, बहुत सारी चीजें होती हैं आपको देखने के लिए एक स्टॉक के लिए।
Okay, sir. Thank you.
ठीक है, किताब पढ़ना चालू करो थोड़ी सी।
Sir,
हाँ
sir, how to understand, sir, stock market, sir, it is growing or crashing, sir?
गोइंग एंड क्रैशिंग, देखिए स्टॉक मार्केट की में एक इक्विटी मार्केट्स में एक इनहेरेंट नेचर है, व्हिच इज it is going to be volatile. So use that volatility to your advantage rather than taking a disadvantage. So when markets were down because of COVID, so आप अगर आपके पास कैश था और आपने अगर अच्छे बिजनेसेस खरीदे हैं, तो ऑन एन एवरेज खराब बिजनेस भी था तो भी वो 50% प्लस है। So market के क्रैश में you need to buy good businesses and hold it for long term and don't expect कि आज लिया है कि भैया कल बढ़ जाएगा, ऐसा नहीं होता है। आज लिया है तो you have to give 2, 3, 4 maybe 10 quarters। से जैसे HDFC बैंक का जो IPO का एग्जांपल दिया मैंने, it is 25-27 years का एक्सपीरियंस है। दो मीगर 1000 रुपए आज 15 लाख रुपए। सेम वे में अगर आप देखेंगे तो लास्ट 10 साल में बजाज फाइनेंस इज अ ग्रेट वेल्थ क्रिएटर। कुछ अगर आप एडजस्ट करेंगे बोनस और डिविडेंड और उसको तो आई थिंक 15-16 रुपए का स्टॉक आज 5,000 रुपए। इट्स अ ग्रेट बिजनेस, ग्रेट मैनेजमेंट, राहुल बजाज का बच्चा है। सो ग्रेट थॉट एंड डिस्टर्प्टर, बिजनेस को डिस्टर्ब किया उसने। सो दिस इज हाउ यू नीड टू सी कैसे काम हो रहा है, कैसा बिजनेस हो रहा है, कहीं पे डिस्ट्रप्शन दिखना चाहिए। जैसे आई विल गिव एन एग्जांपल नाउअडेज, वर्ल्ड वाइड अगर आप देखेंगे टेस्ला का मार्केट कैप बाकी जितनी भी ऑटोमोबाइल कंपनी वर्ल्ड में है, माइंड यू अगेन आई एम पुटिंग इट अगेन, टेस्ला का मार्केट कैप विस अगर जितनी भी ऑटोमोबाइल कंपनीज हैं उनका मार्केट कैप का आप जोड़ते हैं तो कम है। इसका ये मतलब नहीं है वो अर्निंग ज्यादा कर रहा है, तो ये मतलब नहीं है वो लॉस में वो है, बट द फ्यूचर है, डिस्ट्रप्शन है। सो यू नीड टू लुक एट बिजनेस विच इज गेटिंग डिसरप्टेड। सो आपको बिजनेस में डिसरप्टर खरीदना है और डिसरप्ट होते हुए जो आ रहा है उसको भागना है वहां से अपन बात करेंगे इसमें over a period of time. You need to how to look at businesses. So Bitcoin, I think there is a schedule here for Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is a cryptocurrency, but unfortunately India mein it's not legal to buy. आज ही कोई RBI का circular I was reading कि there's some problem with Bitcoins, you can't buy Bitcoins. So Bitcoins के लिए there's a session. I think there's an expert who can help you. But it's going to be future, no doubt about it. Bitcoin का future है, 100% है. We can set up a session on Bitcoin. It's that vaster session.
Sir.
Yeah.
Sir, how sir Kodak sir disrupt sir from market? मतलब सर डिस्ट्रॉय क्यों हो गया सर कोडैक?
आप यूज कर रहे हैं कोडैक को अभी?
नहीं सर।
डिस्टर्ब हो गया। Say anything which gets disrupted will be out of business. आज से अगर आप 15 साल पहले देखते थे तो आप वीडियोस कहाँ देखते थे? वीडियो लाइब्रेरीज में जाके वो आप वो कैसेट्स खरीदते थे या सीडीज खरीदते थे। टेक्नोलॉजी ने आके खत्म कर दिया है। See, a very good disruptor in 2020 is Zoom, जो प्लेटफॉर्म आप और मैं यूज कर रहे हैं अभी। आप यूएस में जाके देखिए, यूएस लिस्टेड नैस्डैक में लिस्टेड है Zoom, is a great wealth creator. इसने टेक्नोलॉजी लाई जो एग्जिस्टिंग सिस्टम था उसको बीट किया एंड अपने लिए जगह बनाई। Zoom is giving you, मतलब Zoom has given you a much better experience. आप और मैं आज ऐसे बात कर सकते थे क्या? नहीं कर सकते थे। अगर ये यूजुअल होता था तो I would have been speaking offline 30-40 students. I don't know आज इसमें students are from Nagpur. I'm being told that some from Bombay as well, some from South, some from Delhi. So Zoom is going to be a wealth creator only. अभी अगर कोई Zoom को आके डिस्टर्ब करता है, then that guy will take a market share. So understand which business is getting disrupted and which is a disruptor. Say Amazon ने हर बिजनेस को डिस्टर्ब किया है। आपको मालूम ना, आप एयर टिकट भी Amazon से कर सकते हैं। तो ये यात्रा वाला की दुकान बंद हो जाएगी भाई, समझो। तो इक्विटी मार्केट्स में फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल सबसे पहले आपने अगर आप थोड़ा सा समझदार हैं तो पहले थोड़ा सा म्यूचुअल फंड स्टार्ट कीजिए, SIPs करिए थोड़ा सा, या आप थोड़े से अगर और अच्छा है तो ETF करिए, ETF की तरफ जाइए। फ्यूचर इज ETF, नॉट म्यूचुअल फंड्स। एक्सचेंज ट्रेडेड फंड्स होते हैं, यहाँ पे आपको बेसिकली फंड मैनेजर का कॉस्टिंग देना पड़ता है 2%। सो ETFs खरीदिए। अगर आप डीमैट आपके पास अकाउंट है तो ETF खरीदिए, तो दैट्स अ फ्यूचर। अगर आप सर्च करेंगे तो सर्च करिएगा, वैनगार्ड का ETF है यूएस में, वैनगार्ड का ETF, S&P का ETF है, उसका $1 ट्रिलियन के आउटस्टैंडिंग है। $1 ट्रिलियन एसेट्स मैनेज करता हूँ। अपनी इंडिया की इकोनॉमी is $2.5 ट्रिलियन, उसका एक फंड है जिसमें टोटल एसेट्स इज मोर देन $1 ट्रिलियन। वेदांत बोलता है कि क्रिप्टो करेंसी लीगल हो गया, ऑसम। See now, but cryptocurrency is done phenomenally well. मतलब कोविड के टाइम पे क्रिप्टो has done phenomenal. Say 4,000-5,000 rupees का Bitcoin is now almost 40,000 rupees. Bitcoin is, please understand, it's a new asset class. It's giving you.
इंडिया में क्रिप्टो करेंसी बैन होने वाली है अभी इस सेशन में।
क्या कम अगेन, आपका वॉइस ब्रेक हो रहा है।
सर क्रिप्टो करेंसी बैन होने वाली है इंडिया में। आज मतलब स्टेटमेंट आया था
आज है।
सीतारमण जी का।
So that's not still legal यार. क्रिप्टो करेंसी के लिए there is a session यार. Please ask him. Let's stick to equities and investment, wealth management. Praful, you want to ask something?
Sir, I want to ask about IPOs. I applied for
IPOs?
Indian
Which one?
Railway Finance Corporation, but I am unable to get it.
नहीं मिलता है यार. आजकल आईपीओ में इन्वेस्ट करोगे आप तो इतना ज्यादा पार्टिसिपेशन हो गया है आईपीओस में कि नहीं मिलता. मेरे को भी नहीं, मैंने तो अप्लाई नहीं किया था, नहीं मिला मेरे को. मैंने इंडिगो पेंट्स किया था पर नहीं मिलता आजकल. सिर्फ
तो सर दूसरी प्रोसेस क्या है फिर उसके लिए, मतलब क्या कर, किस में
आपको you have
इन्वेस्टमेंट
to keep on
करना
applying everyone with every IPO which you like. Say there is a lottery system. If say for example उसके पास बांटने के लिए 1000 शेयर है, अगर उसको 10,000 लोग अप्लाई करेंगे तो 10 में से एक को ही मिलेगा ना. वही हो रहा है. तो sometimes you'll be lucky, sometimes you'll not. So the odd is nowadays is 10 out of 1 में को चांस मिलता है. तो some में you'll get a chance, some में you don't. So till the time 100 शेयर्स है और 100 शेयर्स का एप्लीकेशन है तभी सबको मिलेगा ना एक एक, नहीं तो नहीं मिलेगा. It's a clear lottery right now.
Yes.
Anything else?
Sir,
What you want to ask?
sir, what is Harshal Mehta scam?
अरे इतनी अच्छी सीरीज आई है, देखो यार, मजा आएगा देखने में. I'll give you numbers. Harshad Mehta web series is the most popular web series in India till now. Please go watch.
Scam.
Harshad Mehta scam, whatever it is. So please go and watch. Say please go and watch. It's a good मतलब थोड़ा सा hype भी है, but it's a good watch. Please, but don't follow what he has done. That was incorrect.
Yes, sir.
Let's be law-abiding citizens. What else? Say देखिए दो चार चीजें. What my basic objective of meeting you guys is, आप लोग पहले डिसिप्लिन से इन्वेस्ट करना चालू कीजिए. थोड़ा सा पैसा सेविंग बैंक अकाउंट में रखिए, उससे ज़्यादा पैसे तो फिक्स डिपॉजिट्स करिए या डेट फंड्स करिए. फिर म्यूचुअल फंड्स के थ्रू या ईटीएफ्स के थ्रू एसआईपी करिए. ठीक है. थोड़ा सा बेसिक इंश्योरेंस लीजिए, ओनली टर्म इंश्योरेंस. डोंट बाय एनी सेविंग्स प्रोडक्ट और इन्वेस्टमेंट प्रोडक्ट फ्रॉम इंश्योरेंस कंपनी. प्लीज नहीं, आपको बेसिकली टर्म इंश्योरेंस खरीदना चाहिए एंड लेट इट बी देयर. सो इंश्योरेंस कंपनी से इंश्योरेंस कराइए, हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस कराइए. दैट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट दीज डेज बिकॉज हेल्थ इज एक्सट्रीमली एक्सपेंसिव. देन ये दो चीज होने में आपके सबसे ज्यादा पैसे लगते हैं. वंस यू आर इंश्योर्ड देन स्टार्ट इन्वेस्टिंग. थोड़ा सा इन्वेस्टमेंट शॉर्ट टर्म के लिए कीजिए, थोड़ा मीडियम टर्म के लिए कीजिए, कुछ लॉन्ग टर्म के लिए कीजिए एंड लेट इट कंटिन्यू फॉर सम टाइम. Say you can start doing SIPs or you can buy some stocks, but please define your earnings like this way. Say for example, we call it a rule of 50, 30 and 20. So 50% आपका जो भी सैलरी आता है वो आपकी बेसिक ग्रोसरीज और ये सब में जाने दीजिए, वो जाता है. 30% should be into your saving, मतलब 30% should be into your hobbies, traveling, adventure. आपको नए गैजेट्स खरीदने उसमें जाने दीजिए. बट जो 20% है उसको इन्वेस्ट जरूर करिए. इफ यू डोंट डू दिस then you will be in the trap of EMIs. से हमको कंपाउंडिंग में इंटरेस्ट कमाना है, देना नहीं है. So just follow a simple rule. 50% for our basic stuff, can be rent, can be आपके bills, can be anything. If you're staying home, आपको better रहेगा. 50% should be groceries and basics. 30% should be for hobbies, vacations, can be further education, whatever you want to call it. And bare minimum 20% आपके इन्वेस्ट होना चाहिए. If you follow this 50, 30, 20, your life is going to be sorted. Plus accidents मत करिए, speculation मत करिए. स्टॉक मार्केट नहीं समझता है तो प्लीज फंड मैनेजर्स को यूज करिए. ठीक है, नहीं तो ईटीएफ यूज कीजिए. दैट इज लोएस्ट तरीका है इक्विटी होल्ड करने के लिए. आप निफ्टी का ईटीएफ खरीदिए जो कि बेसिकली इंडिया की 50 टॉप मोस्ट कंपनीज हैं, वो खरीदिए. सो इंश्योरेंस, बेसिक टर्म, बेसिक हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस एंड देन स्टार्ट इन्वेस्टिंग. से फॉर एग्जांपल इफ यू आर इन्वेस्टिंग 100 रुपीज पर मंथ, तो 30 रुपीज को थोड़ा सा शॉर्ट टर्म के लिए रखिए, 30 रुपीज को मीडियम टर्म की इन्वेस्टमेंट चाहिए 3-4 साल के लिए डालिए, एंड बाकी का जो 30-40% है वो लॉन्ग टर्म के लिए डालिए। सो ऐसे आपका एक स्ट्रक्चर होना चाहिए। दिस इज बेसिक, आपका हाइजीन ऑफ द पोर्टफोलियो ठीक रहेगा। ठीक है, स्पेकुलेशन मत करिए। और अगर आप स्टॉक मार्केट नहीं समझता है तो प्लीज यूज फाइनेंशियल प्लानर्स लाइक मी। यूर व्यू नो इंट्राडे, आप अगर आप कर सकते हैं, कमा सकते हैं तो बिल्कुल करिए। अगर आप कमा नहीं रहे तो बाहर हो जाइए। एक वेदांत बहुत ही सिंपल रूल है। फॉर एग्जांपल आई डोंट नो वेदांत कैन यू स्पीक टू मी? अनम्यूट योरसेल्फ
यस
वेदांत।
यस
वेदांत
सर।
कितने कैपिटल को से यूज करके इंट्राडे कर रहे हो?
नहीं सर, सोचा नहीं है, बस ऐसे ही पूछ रहा था कि क्या व्यूज है आपके,
देखिए इंट्राडे करने के
क्योंकि
लिए ना,
अभी तो खुद का। हाँ
देखिए इंट्राडे करने के लिए ना ये बेसिकली प्रोफेशनल्स का काम है यार, फुल टाइम काम है। अगर आप सही में
ओके।
खुद ट्रेड करके पैसा कमा सकते हैं तो नथिंग लाइक इट, यू विल बी योर ओन बॉस।
हाँ
इट्स अ फुल टाइम जॉब।
हाँ सर।
ठीक है, अगर
हम्म।
आप पढ़ाई कर रहे हैं और कहीं जॉब कर रहे हैं और इंट्राडे ट्रेड्स में आपको लगता है कि आप पैसे बना लेंगे, तो देन यू, आई थिंक यू आर फीलिंग योरसेल्फ टू लकी। नहीं होता है।
हाँ
से आई एम अ
यस सर।
प्रोफेशनल, मैं इंट्राडे नहीं करता हूँ बिकॉज आई हैव इनटू वेल्थ मैनेजमेंट बिजनेस, सो आई बाय एंड होल्ड गुड बिजनेसेस। और प्रोफेशनल को दे दीजिए लाइक अस।
हाँ थैंक।
इंट्राडे इज अवॉइडेबल। इफ यू आर
ओके
टोटली इनटू इट, डू इट। या तो एक रूल बना लीजिए, फॉर एग्जांपल यू स्टार्टिंग विद अ सिंपल कैपिटल, एक कैपिटल से स्टार्ट किया, वो कैपिटल खत्म हो गया तो ऐड नहीं करेंगे उसको।
हम्म।
से आई
हाँ
स्टार्टेड विद 1 करोड़, 1 लाख रुपए, 1 लाख रुपए अगर वो लॉस हो गया तो मैं फिर से स्टार्ट नहीं करूंगा। समझे आप?
हाँ हाँ हाँ।
वेरी सिंपल। तो आप बच जाएंगे।
ओके।
नहीं तो
हाँ
लोग क्या करते
थैंक
हैं,
यू
1 लाख
सर।
नुकसान होता है फिर से 2 लाख आते हैं। सो
हाँ
डोंट डू दैट। मार्केट आपको स्मार्टेस्ट पर्सन को रिवॉर्ड करता है, ठीक है, मीडियोकर को कभी रिवॉर्ड नहीं करता है। से
राइट।
वॉलेटिलिटी को फ्रेंड बनाइए, अच्छे बिजनेस आइडेंटिफाई करिए और खरीदिए, पढ़िए। अभी तो इंफॉर्मेशन इज सो फ्री है, सो इजी। एनीथिंग
Sir,
एल्स?
what is RD? RD from Patasanstha, from small banks.
बिल्कुल मत जाइए। आरडी इज रिकरिंग डिपॉजिट, मतलब आप हर महीने हर दिन आप रिकरिंग डिपॉजिट कर रहे हैं। पद संस्था बैंक्स में जाइए प्लीज, आपके कैपिटल सेफ रहेगा। आई डोंट ट्रस्ट, उनका ड्यू डिलिजेंस बहुत पुअर होता है, ऑडिट्स नहीं होते हैं, किसी को भी पैसा दे देते हैं। आई सजेस्ट कि बैंक्स, नेशनलाइज बैंक एंड सम प्राइवेट बैंक में रहिए। पद संस्था, कोऑपरेटिव बैंक्स लिटिल रिस्की। या आप अगर समझ सकते हैं वो अच्छा सेफ है, देन कंटिन्यू। एक आधे % का इंटरेस्ट ज्यादा करने के लिए आप प्लीज वहां मत चाहिए। ठीक है अक्षय?
Yes, sir.
एनीथिंग एल्स? If you're done and dusted, then I'll give my closing comment and move on. Anything else, guys?
Sir, foreign trade is banned in India, sir.
Foreign trade means?
Means, sir, from one country to another country, we can trade from.
FDI.
FDI is foreign direct investment. वो business में आके इन्वेस्ट करते हैं। अपन इंडियंस को फॉर एग्जांपल यूएस के कोई स्टॉक खरीदना है, यस खरीद सकते हैं। आपको गूगल खरीदना है, खरीद सकते हैं। आपको अल्फाबेट खरीदना है, आपको एप्पल खरीदना है, यस इट इज अलाउड।
Yes, sir.
We can help you. We help our clients to buy international equities. वो एक रूट होता है LSR करके, उसके थ्रू आप इन्वेस्ट कर सकते हैं। Anything else? Time over, guys. I think. नहीं, ये अगर किसी को ETF के बारे में जानना है तो we can do it. So basically, in case you have any queries, you can go back to host Pooja ma'am. You can go to Burgate sir. I am Mohit. मेरे numbers और contact details दिए हुए हैं. So And I think मैंने सर को भी बोला we are hiring these days. So anybody who's looking for a career in financial services, in or into portfolio managers, we are looking for passionate people who wants to make their career in finance. Are welcome. Can share that email on WhatsApp me on this number. ठीक है. So thanks a lot guys. Thanks a lot for patiently listening. आप लोगों ने बहुत झेला मेरे को for last 1.5 hours. So thank you and God bless you. आपके पैसे खराब मत करिए. इंश्योरेंस कंपनी में सिर्फ इंश्योरेंस कराइए. सही फाइनेंशियल प्लानर्स के पास जाइए. खुद पढ़िए. खुद सोच समझ के इन्वेस्ट करिए. ठीक है. जहां पे भी आपको लगता है ये रिटर्न्स बहुत ज्यादा हैं, देन वहां पे कुछ गलती होने का टू गुड टू बी ट्रू नहीं होता है. भैया मैं आपके पैसे 2 साल में डबल करके दे दूंगा, ये नहीं होता है. 5 साल में डबल हो जाएंगे, नहीं होता है. कोई देयर इज नो गारंटी नाउअडेज. सो 5% इज एफडी रेट. इसके ऊपर के जितने भी रिटर्न्स आपको कोई प्रॉमिस कर रहा है, वहां पे रिस्क है. रिस्क कौन सा हो सकता है? कैन बी लिक्विडिटी रिस्क, मतलब पैसे जल्दी नहीं मिलेंगे. कैन बी कैपिटल रिस्क, मतलब आपको कैपिटल का नुकसान हो सकता है, या इंटरेस्ट रेट ऊपर नीचे हो सकता है. तो एनी इन्वेस्टमेंट जहां पे भी 5% से ज्यादा एसबीआई की एफडी से ज्यादा रिटर्न्स मिल रहे हैं, प्लीज ट्राई अंडरस्टैंड वहां पे रिस्क है. अंडरस्टैंड द रिस्क एंड देन इन्वेस्ट. तो सोच समझ के इन्वेस्ट करिए. अच्छे फाइनेंशियल प्लानर्स के पास जाइए, उनसे समझिए, अंडरस्टैंड कीजिए कैसे इन्वेस्ट करना चाहिए, एंड देन डू इट. ओनली थिंग इज प्लीज अवॉइड करिए ईएमआई ट्रैप्स. रीजनेबल कंजम्पशन पे बिलीव करिए, एंड थोड़ा पोर्शन विच आई कॉल इट अ 50-30-20 को फॉलो कीजिए. कीप ऑन इन्वेस्टिंग ओवर अ पीरियड ऑफ टाइम सो दैट आपको इंटरेस्ट देना नहीं पड़े, इंटरेस्ट कमाने को मिले. So that's all from me guys. God bless you and take care. Thank you. Over
Thank
to
you,
you,
sir.
Bhutta.
Thank you, Mohit sir, for expressing your views and knowledge. We are very grateful having you here. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good for me. Lately I was feeling like I need a purpose. When you talk to me, give me the impression that I won't scratch your surface. I could walk for days, searching for a place. Is it even there to find?
On behalf Now I'm running with the introduction of Mr. Basu.
Session. It gives me immense pleasure to introduce resource persons today. I will name in the area of investments and financial planning, independent investment management professional and promoter, Future Gain Investment Services, Nagpur. Future Gain Investment Services is a niche boutique extremely strong focus on client satisfaction. Mr. Khetan has over 20 years of proven track record in financial services in this domain and gives strong services to their client capabilities, keeping in mind the regulatory framework and the volatility in the investment climate. Avish believes in providing best services to his clients. His main purpose is to help people and provide all kind of assistance for financial investment. He follows three guiding principles for success of his clients: investment discipline, service excellence, and continuous innovation. Mr. Bhavesh has expertise in offering core services like financial planning, investment planning, tax planning, and retirement planning. He has thorough knowledge of many products in mutual funds, fixed income, and insurance sector. His core values that have made him successful over the years are client focus, entrepreneurial spirit, quality, integrity, teamwork, long-term perspective, achievement orientation, fiscal accountability, and responsibility. With his perseverance in last 20 years, his mutual funds assets under administration grew up to rupees 250 crores across 700 clients. His success mantra is putting clients first and keeping in touch, especially during bad times of the financial market. We are truly privileged to have Mr. Bhavesh with us today. I appeal to all the participants to make best use of this session.
Hello everyone. Mr. Bhavesh is not present here, so Mr. Bhavesh deputed the Mr. Basu to conduct his event. So now I hand over this meeting to Mr. Basu. Sir, are you there?
Yeah, hi. Good evening.
Very good evening, sir. Now
I need to share my screen.
Sir. Yes, sir. Please continue.
Okay, just a regulation check. You can see the screen?
Yes, sir. It is visible.
Okay, thank you so much and good evening, everyone. In Bhavesh has got into some family exigencies. So he's asked me to represent his firm and we work together. And on behalf of Bhavesh, there's a presentation for all of you. And you heard before me, the speaker has basically given you a lot of guidelines and outlines. So what we want to do, we want to talk about some framework that we think is important. This is a framework which can be used in future to take care of your money management and financial needs. And we start with this very famous quote. So it is a quote by Bill Gates. It says that we always overestimate change that will occur in next 2 years and underestimate the change that will occur in next 10 years. And don't let yourself be lulled into inaction. So it's time for action right now. क्योंकि हमारी ये टेंडेंसी है कि we always think about कि एक साल में क्या होगा, but we often ignore कि 10 साल में जो change होने वाला है उसका क्या impact आने वाला है. And this is something important and we must keep in mind. If you remember 10 years back, what used to be the way meetings were done or education was done and what has been the change in the last 10 years, you will understand that it's always important to look forward and look forward at least 10-20 years and then plan. Because 1-2 साल का change जो होता है वो 10 साल के change के सामने बहुत छोटा दिखाई देता है. I start with a very interesting story. आप में से कितने लोगों ने ये story सुनी है? The story between the fight between David and Goliath. Anyone of you have heard the story? I can't. You can just mention if you've heard about the story in the chat box or on the raising your hand. But the story basically is between two, I would say, nations who went into the war. और उस जमाने में war में एक तरीका ये भी होता था कि instead of the entire army fighting with each other, they used to send their best person. And these best guys will fight it out, and जो जीतता था उस तरफ का मान लिया जाता कि that side has won. So this is something which happened, and it happened in Israel. Between Israel and Philistine, there was a war, and both of them were on the mountain side, and बीच में valley था. तो कोई नीचे उतर नहीं रहा था क्योंकि लोगों ने जो नीचे उतरेगा he will be exposed and they will be defeated. So what they did, they said, okay, let us pick up one guy from our side and they will go and fight it, right? So the fighter which was killed by the Philistines was a guy called Goliath, and he was the mightiest warrior at that time. He was tall, he was strong, had experience, and he had all the weapons that he needed. And he was so threatening and so intimidating कि सामने वाली आर्मी से कोई जाने को तैयार नहीं हुआ. Like इससे तो जो भी लड़ने जाएगा वो हार के ही आएगा, तो फायदा ही नहीं है इससे लड़ने का. And the entire army was like not ready to go. And at that point, the king was very worried, and there was a small boy who was a shepherd. So वो आगे आता है, his name is David, and he said that I will go and fight. Everybody is amazed कि यार तुम कैसे लड़ोगे, तुम देख रहे हो किससे लड़ना है, मतलब ये तुम्हारी तो बच्चे हो, तुम बच्चे हो, तुमने भी देखा ही नहीं है कुछ, तुमको तो मालूम नहीं है कैसे लड़ाई की जाती है. This guy is so huge and tall and well built and experienced and has all the weapons. How will you win this battle? And he said, no, I will win it, don't worry. मैं जीत के आऊंगा. There is no problem. I am very confident I will win it. So there was no choice. So the king said, okay, you go, but you take some weapons with you and put something on your body to protect. He said, no, I don't want anything. I don't need any weapons. I don't need any protection. Just let me go. And I'll come back and I'll show you how to defeat this guy. So he went down and they came close to each other, and he won the battle. Now, what did he do so that he won the battle against a guy who was so experienced and so good at in the war? So ये जो बंदा था डेविड जो था, he was a slinger. Now slinger is a person जो अपनी गुलेल से पत्थर मारता है, and he was a shepherd, तो अपना चारवाहा था, तो अपने भेड़ बकरियों को चराने ले जाता था, and to protect them from wild animals he used to use that sling, the gulel, and he used to shoot those stones to keep this basically the herd intact. So what he did, he picked up some stones on the way. He went to this person and he shot him from a distance. तो काफी दूर से उसने एक पत्थर निकाला और उसने गुलेल में लगा के स्लिंग लगा के उसने मारा उसको. And that stone hit him between the eyes, just above the nose, which is the soft part, the vulnerable area. And it was so fast that people say it was as fast as a .55 revolver bullet. That was the speed of that stone at which it hit him. And he just fell down and he was unconscious. David went, took his sword and cut his throat, and the entire army was celebrating. Now, if you look at the story basically says that if you are very powerful, very strong, very experienced, you know everything about the war, but still somebody can come and defeat you because you are a specialist in close range war. अगर आपके पास आदमी नहीं है आपके आसपास, तो आप फिर वेपन का क्या करोगे और अपना पावर का क्या करोगे? इफ आई एम फाइटिंग विथ यू मे बी 12 feet दूर से, you can't hit me only because you are not able to catch me only. So there is a way to make sure that even the best and the powerful also gets exposed. And I told you this story because something similar happened in investments. Okay, and this is very interesting. It's a real life story, and it is very similar to the David and Goliath story. And this is the story. There's a lady called Grace Groner. Okay, she's an old lady. She died at the age of 101. She was born in 1909. She died in 2010. She was an average worker. She was orphaned at 12, and after that, she worked in a company for around 43 years as a secretary. And when she retired, she lived in one BHK house, and it was a very simple house. She didn't have kids. She didn't have family, and she didn't have any kind of luxury also. And when she died, people found that she has left around $7 million, and she left it to the charity. So I was thinking that how can a person who has done such a simple job for 40 years, who doesn't have a great investment wisdom, doesn't know about markets, doesn't know about instruments that are available in the market, she can make wealth of $7 million. And they're very, very kind of excited also, and they're very interested to know kya hua achanak se, what has she done that she has left behind $7 million. And within a few weeks or a few months, there was one more story of another person. This guy's name was Richard Fuskin, and he was the brilliant guy. He was well educated, so an MBA from Chicago University. He was vice chairman at Merrill in 2000, and he was in 40 under 40 list, like one of the brightest people on the investment side. And he declared that he's bankrupt. Same year, 2010, the same year in which that lady died and left behind $7 million. This guy filed for bankruptcy. The guy has all the knowledge about investment world. They have worked in one of the best firms in the US. और उसके बावजूद, so he is like the Goliath, and that lady is like a David, and David is beating Goliath again. Why it is happening? Anybody you can want to guess what happened? Why it's possible that even a person who doesn't have so much of understanding or knowledge about investments can beat a person who is so intelligent and so well exposed. Okay. And this can happen only in investment. This is a story which cannot be done anywhere else. अगर आप कोई और प्रोफेशन लीजिएगा, तो वहां पे जिसको ज्यादा एक्सपोजर है, जिसके पास ज्यादा एक्सपीरियंस है, जिसके पास ज्यादा नॉलेज है, वो हमेशा जिसके पास कम नॉलेज है उससे बेटर करेगा. You take a doctor. If you're not an MBBS, you can't become a good doctor. You can't become a good surgeon. If you're not working in a good hospital, you will not become a good surgeon. You take lawyer, you take architect, you take chartered accountant. It's only the field of investment is a field where even if you know the basics and you don't have any understanding about anything else, you can still make money because you have an impact, something which is called long-term compounding. And if you don't do big mistakes, if you just keep it simple, I think the previous speaker also has emphasized this fact. You keep it simple रखना है और ऐसा कुछ इसमें बड़ा risk नहीं लेना है और बड़ा mistake नहीं करना है. The winners will take care of themselves. And that is what has happened. The lady has actually invested in some stock, and she kept the stock for 60, 70 years. Or वो stock became so much of wealth got created that she ended up at $7 million. And this person who was so much aware of everything and yet couldn't keep his greed under control and took undue risk and lost everything, and he filed for bankruptcy. So in this profession, in this investment world, even if you know the basics, that's enough. You don't need to know what's happening in derivatives or future or Bitcoin or global economy or Indian economy. You just need to know the basics right. And if you know the basics right, I think that's enough to make money. So that's lesson number one, is that you don't need huge amount of information and knowledge. Only few things are important. Okay. The world will give you a lot of noise. They will give you information, like information overload on you. So दुनिया में खबर की तो कोई कमी नहीं है, डेटा की कोई कमी नहीं है, और उन डेटा में इंफॉर्मेशन छिपी होती है, उस इंफॉर्मेशन में नॉलेज छिपी होती है और उस नॉलेज में विजडम छिपी होती है। तो जो विजडम है वो बहुत थोड़ी सी चीजों के बारे में जानकारी है। आउट ऑफ द millions of things is happening in the world, only few are important. And those who know those few things will make money because they know what to do, and only those things are important to make money. So let's move ahead and let me give you an exercise. I have to ask you to do one small activity. Okay, and the activity is that you have to draw a tree. You have a pen or paper or you have anything in front of you. Just imagine that you have to draw a tree. How many of you can draw a tree at this moment? You don't have to show me also. You just have to draw a tree on your own. And I'll come back to the reason why I'm telling you this. Yeah. Can I see some comments or some raise of hand raises in case you've drawn the tree? And I'm assuming you've drawn some trees. So now the tree that you have drawn, if you look at the tree that you have drawn, and I'll show you one tree which I want to draw your attention to. Now this is the picture of a tree, right? Now most of the people who draw a tree are actually drawing a tree without the roots. Most of us, because what we draw is what is visible. So the part which is above the ground is the visible part, and people always draw that part. Some of the people also draw the roots, which are the parts below the ground. And if you go back to your class 4 science class, you will understand that you can't have a tree which doesn't have a root. Every tree has to have root. Okay. And the important lesson here is that if you don't have roots which are deep enough and strong enough, the tree will not stand for a very long time. And the tree actually represents the financial world also. And what we call a financial tree is also very similar. There are the shoots which are visible, which is the upper part of the tree. And these are the products. So you talk about gold or bank FD or RD or PPF or real estate or mutual fund or shares or Bitcoin or global equity. Everything is shoot because they're all products which are visible. But it has to be connected to roots. And the roots which are very, I would say, generic are these. So this is a financial planning tree. So you have shares, you have real estate, you have bank FD, gold, silver, mutual fund, insurance. These are the parts which are visible, and advertisement is making them more visible. So you get more advertisement. Somebody sees it on the TV, somebody gets a message, somebody hears out from his friends and relatives. So these are the things which you see, but the roots which are important to know, and this is the focus which we have to do today. These are the 6 roots which I'm going to talk about. First is called emergency fund. Second is called budgeting. Third is called home. Fourth is called protection. Fifth is called retirement planning. And last one is estate planning. They are not in any order. We'll pick it up one by one. And financial planning and investment research starts here. The structure to feed investments and well-grounded principle to deliver results. So this is something which is very important to understand. If you don't connect the root to the shoot, which is the product to the requirement, you are not doing justice to your investments. So whatever you buy at the top, you can buy anything which you like, but always make sure that what you are buying is actually going to get connected to one of the 6 roots which are mentioned here. So if you're buying mutual fund, it should be connected to something. If you're buying real estate, it should be connected to something. If you're buying shares, it should be actually for some cause, for some reason, for some goals, and that is what the roots are all about. In all this, there's one big concept which people talk about, and you will know it because you have been a student for so long. And before we talk about the concept, and let's talk about this. What happens if you run out of water while taking a shower? So if you are careful enough and you have planned it well, you always keep a bucket of water with you. What if the water supply is down for 2 days? So people put tanks on their buildings or on their houses or on the roofs, and they make sure that even the supply is out for 2 days, they have enough water to survive. But if you are a town planner and you want to solve the problem of water for the town, what you need is neither a bucket nor a tank. You probably need a dam. This is the requirement for the next 20 years. So what you heard just before my session is short-term need and medium-term need and long-term need. I think this is exactly the same. So this is your short-term need, the bucket which can be immediately used. Then you've got a medium-term need. If there's a shortage of water for 2-3 days, you have to prepare for that. And this is a long-term need that you need to solve the water problem of the city, then you need this. Now, if you apply to investments, it can be used investment also that you need something which is uh, very liquid, immediately required. That's what we call emergency fund. That is like the bucket of water you keep in your washroom if your shower is low. You need something for near term, like 2-3 years, or maybe for 3 to 5 years. That's something which is equivalent to of a water tank on your roof. And if you need something for 20 years, 15 years, that is something which is equivalent to the this picture of dam which is going to solve the water problem. And all this is possible because we have a concept called compounding. So there is compounding, and Einstein said that's the eighth wonder of the world. The rule of 72, I think you know that if you divide something by 72, it will tell you it will give you the number which will be required to double it. So if you're looking for doubling your money in say 12 years, then you need 6% return. It's like a rough calculation. If you're looking at doubling your money in 9 years, you need 8% return. Or if you get the rate of return, you can identify that how many years it will take to double your money. So if you get a 6% FD, it will take 12 years to double your money. And this basically helps you understand how you'll reach your goal. And let's understand through an example. For example, you are looking for an expense, and this expense today, you know the expense, but you know that this is not going to remain the same. And times to come, it will going up. So at 6% inflation, expense doubles in 12 years. At 9% return, money doubles in 8 years. At 12% doubles in 6 years. That's a rough calculator to use. And assume that today expense that you are looking at is 25 lakh rupees. And you know that you've got some time, maybe you need 25 years later. And in 25 years, this expense, which is 25 lakh today, is actually going to go up at 6%. So अगर 6% inflation है, so this expense will double. So every 12 years it will double. So if the expense is today 25 lakhs, after 12 years it becomes 50 lakhs. After 12 years, after 24 years, it becomes 100 lakhs. So if you need something which is equivalent to 25 lakhs today, after 24 years, you need 100 lakhs. And if you can find out an investment which is around 12%, what is the amount that you need to set aside today? So we just did a simple maths, and we said that, okay, if you have 6 lakh rupees today and your current expense is 25 lakhs and your money can grow at 12%, then every 6 years money gets double. So 6 becomes 12, 12 becomes 24, 48 and 96. So after 24 years, you have 26 lakh rupees, and hence you will be able to meet up the expense, which is 100 lakhs, as shown in the previous example. So if your money is doubling at a faster rate than inflation, you will catch up. But if your money is not doubling as fast as inflation is going faster than you, then obviously you are in trouble, because you're not going to make money, you're going to lose money. And this 6 lakhs can be 96 lakhs in say 24 years if you have 12% interest or 12% return on your portfolio. But is there an asset class which can give 12%? So 12% return कैसे आ सकता है? This is just academic number, so I'm not saying the 12% return aata hai, but I'm giving you an example where I'm using something which is a long-term average in the market. What the history showed us, index is the most commonly used index is Sensex, which is commonly used. There are a lot of other indexes also. Started at 100 base value 1979. Today that's 46,000 approximately. That's around 460 times, right, in 42 years, which is a compounding annual return of 15.7%. Let's go back 20 years. In June 2000, it was around 4,300. Today is more than 10 times, compounding around 12.5%. The market corrected in March, as you know, last March 2020. Sensex went down and it was around 30,000. That's approximately 7 times in 20 years, around 10.2% in 20 years return. So even at the worst time, which was the market corrected because of the COVID thing, you still were above 10%. Now, I'm not saying that this is a number which is going to happen in next 20 years, but as we can say that history doesn't repeat itself, but it rhymes. So this is the power of compounding, which can create wealth for someone. And it can be used to meet up an expense which looks impossible today. So today the expense was 25 lakhs in the previous example, and we had 6 lakhs rupees. Okay, the difference was 6 and 25. In 24 years, because money grew at a faster rate than inflation, we actually came at par with the 24 years later expense number. So this is something which we need to remember. I talked about emergency fund. Emergency fund is something which you need because you don't know when it's going to be used. So it can be a situation like COVID, it can be a medical emergency, it can be a emergency where you don't have any kind of forecasting which can help you. It has to be created. It also depends upon spending pattern, that how much of spending you do, what is the kind of spending you do, how much discretionary spending you do, and also how much income is. So a person who has a kind of mostly fixed income, fixed salary, his stability is much higher than a person who has like a fees kind of or runs a business. So emergency fund is needed to take care of your monthly expenses. And depending upon the income stability and the spending pattern, you have some kind of a number. So typically 6 months to 12 months of expense is kept as the emergency fund. So anyone who thinks that, okay, I want to start investing, one of the things that you should do before you start investing is to create an emergency fund. Because in case you need money, you shouldn't be stuck. So assume that somebody has a monthly expense of 50,000 rupees and he wants to create an emergency fund of say 9 months. You should keep first 4 to 5 lakh rupees in a fund which is very liquid. It can be a bank also, it can be a mutual fund also, but it should be available on the call without any delay. And that is something which is important to start with, even before you go into doing any kind of investments. You have something called budget surplus. What is budget surplus? So you have income, you have expenses, and you have savings, right? The role of savings is to create more income, right? And the savings are a function of how much expenditure you do. So it's basically the expense which determines savings. And savings, if you put into investment process, gives you higher income. And that income again generates more savings. And this entire cycle continues. So every time you have a surplus, you should know what to do with it. So whether you will do a SIP or you will do some accumulation in some kind of a bank deposit, all that is important because every time the surplus is getting created on a monthly basis, it is always wise to invest. It can be little, it can be 1,000, it can be 2,000, it can be 5,000, but it is always important to start. And even if it's little, it's okay. It's not late, but you should always start with as fast as possible, right? This is something which we do in India, that we have to buy a house. That's our dream. If you don't have a house, you always dream to buy a house. This is not an income producing investment, but it's got a lot of emotional value. It's the largest investment that you do in your life, most of the cases, and also creates the largest debt. So please be aware when you're taking this kind of investment that you have to buy a house you normally go into a debt, and the EMI that you have to pay on the debt also has to be taken care of. So sometimes the investments go down because you have to take care of the EMI. So please consider the EMI as monthly expense and unavoidable expense. And budgeting sometimes will be able to give you the right amount of EMI that you can manage. So it shouldn't happen that a person has an income, he goes and buys a house, and then suddenly he finds that he's unable to save anything. So obviously there is the emotional value of a house, but has to be thought before and carefully planned that what kind of investment is needed to buy this house. Okay. Life happens, but what if what is the plan actually doesn't go as per the plan, and what should you do? And there comes the importance of insurance. I think insurance is something which everyone should be looking at, and as in the previous session there was a discussion and somebody recommended rightly that home insurance is something we should look at. Now, what will you insure? Okay, and if you ask this question that insurance किसका करना चाहिए, क्या-क्या चीज का insurance करना चाहिए, the answer is that you decide what you can afford to lose. Whatever you can afford to lose, don't insure that. What you can't afford to lose, please insure those things. So can you afford to lose your life? Answer is no. You have to insure. Can you afford to lose your house? Answer is no. You have to insure it. Can you afford to lose your car? Answer is no. You have to insure it. Can you afford to lose your shirt? Oh yeah, I have many. You don't need to insure that. Can you afford to lose your shoes? I think so. I can buy a new one without any extra burden. So what you can't afford to lose, you have to make sure that you have to insure that. But what you can afford to lose, you may ignore it. Unless there's a rule and regulation and law that you have to do an insurance. So that's a very easy filter to decide kya insure karna. If you have a business, then you have to insure the property, the land, the building, the plant, machinery. And probably that is a good filter to identify kya insurance karna chahiye aur kiski zarurat hai. So what you can't afford to lose, just insure that part. At some point of time, you will stop. When I'm saying you will stop working, I'm not using the word retirement, because you can stop working at 42 also. Okay? Or you can stop working at 37 also. But when you stop working, आपके पास इतना wealth होना चाहिए that it should create enough income for you to maintain the lifestyle, because expenses don't stop. And there have been enough cases across India and world where people have stopped working for money. They have started working for their passion. Or उस stage पे they have built enough wealth that the wealth creates so much of income that the lifestyle doesn't have any impact. So even they are not earning in the way they used to earn, which is the active income. The passive income, which is income coming from investment, is going to take care of that. So for doing that, you have to have passive income. The passive income is a function of how much investment wealth you have created. The investment wealth is a function of how much savings you have done, and savings is a function of how much expenses you have controlled and how well you have used the savings into investment. So all that are connected. So, so the fundamental unit of creating savings is higher income and lower expenses, and that is something which is, I would say, the biggest takeaway for anybody who is thinking of starting an investment. The last point was estate planning. So two things are certain, as they say, debts and taxes. So the first one is out of your hand. For the second one, there are a lot of things that you can do. And you also make sure that the assets that you have built go to the right set of people at the right time as per your consent. Else, there is one more person who will take it over, and that is called the government. So I hope that we are not building wealth so that the government takes it away. It should go to the right people whom we want to be shared with at the right time and as per our consent, and that is when you need estate planning. So these are the 6 routes. So I go back to the same tree. I go back to the same tree, what we showed in the start. So you see here protection, which is the insurance, emergency fund. Number two, budgeting means every month you start saving and put that saving into investment. Buying a home, doing a retirement planning, and estate planning. These are the 6 things which are important. Retirement planning, a lot of people think that at the age of 20s or 30s, we shouldn't worry about that. But I think it's something which is very, I would say, important, because for every other asset that you want to buy, there are people who will give you credit. You want to buy a car, you want to buy a house, you want to buy a jewelry, you want to go to a foreign destination, there are banks and NBFC who will give you credit. But there is no one who is going to give you fund for retirement. So that is why retirement tops the list of anything that you want to plan for. You must have retirement plan at a very young age, so that your passive income becomes so large that you don't have to depend on your active income. Okay, if your money is not working when you are sleeping, actually you have not done enough. So when you are sleeping, your money should be doing enough that your passive income is still being generated, and that takes care of your expenses. Okay, few ground rules. Like they are very simple ground rules. Asset allocation is required, diversification is required. Don't put all your eggs into same basket. So when you say asset allocation, it should be understood that asset allocation, when you put your money into different baskets, maybe equity, maybe debt, maybe gold, maybe real estate. And please remember that an asset allocation portfolio will never be the best portfolio in returns. Okay, because you have bought everything. But it will never be the worst portfolio also. Because if you buy one asset class, it can be the best or worst. But if you buy 4 asset classes or 5 asset classes, the combination can never be the best and can never be the worst. So it will be somewhere in the middle, and that middle or the average return that it gives consistently over a long period of time is enough to create wealth. You don't need a winner. Okay. Avoid big mistakes. A lot of people make this mistake of putting a lot of money into one idea, one theme, one asset class, one market. I think that's something which is very fatal. वहाँ पे अगर कुछ गलत हुआ तो it just takes the takes your breath away and just takes the floor below your feet. तो वहाँ पे जो खतरा है वो बहुत बड़ा है. अगर आपने कोई गलती कर दी उसमें, बड़े एलोकेशन लगा दिया उसमें, और गलती हो गई कोई, और मार्केट अगर गलत हो गया या टाइमिंग गलत हो गया, suddenly your wealth is gone, and that's like very difficult to recover. So don't try to play and control the greed that you may have at times. Compare any proposal against long-term history. So as rightly said, that if you get something which is above the SBI bank FD rate, it means it has got risk. Okay. So please compare the proposal. कि अगर उसका proposal है कि I'm going to give you say X% return, and the long-term average says कि नहीं इतना तो नहीं आता है, it's something very outlier. Please do a thorough check. Please make sure that you have got into the details of the investment. It is not possible. There is no free lunch. So be very aware of all this. Plan expected cash flows and provide. You know that in next 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, what kind of cash flows are needed, which year you're going to have some kind of liability which is going to give you a cash outflow. Always prepare the plan कि 2025 से मुझे इतने रुपए चाहिए होंगे, 2030 में इतने चाहिए होंगे, या 32 में इतने चाहिए होंगे. And that is going to help your financial planner also to give you the right investment, because he will then try to match कि कितना time बचा है और आपको कौन सा investment product देना चाहिए. That's important. You see, the choice of product is also dependent upon that how much of risk appetite you have. Okay. On this graph, you can see there are 4 lines. Okay. And in every line, basically the line that you see is actually rising, okay, left to the right. Now, when you see this line from the left to the right rising, the returns are basically going up. But return ke saath saath, two more things are happening. If you look at the gap between that red box and the blue ball, okay, the red box is the worst return of the fund of the product or of the asset class. And the blue ball is the best return. So there's a worst and there's a best. And if you go up, you see that the worst and the best are going so far away from each other. Range कितना बड़ा होता जा रहा है worst और best के बीच में. So which says that अगर आपका product का return ऊपर जा रहा है, इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि उसका risk कम होता जा रहा है, उसका risk बढ़ता जा रहा है. और risk measure करने का एक बड़ा आसान तरीका है कि उसका worst return क्या है और उसका best return क्या है, ये आपको मालूम होना चाहिए. Because you never know that which side of the curve you will fall in times to come. You should be prepared about it. Okay? So you shouldn't always think that my return will be always on the top right or top right of the curve. It can also go towards the left hand side, which can be closer to the red box. So if you know this range, ये range है product price asset class का, it's always easier to decide. If you're very conservative, you may say, okay, I will only go for the second option. जहाँ पे जो minimum return है, that is also actually above zero. But the maximum also has been like in a range, it's capped, it's not going way above. But if you are very investor or very aggressive and you can take risk, even like the fourth one, where the red box actually is below zero, which means a negative return, but the blue one is actually showing a higher return and you can take that risk. So it depends upon who you are. कौन सा सही है कौन सा गलत है इसमें जरूरत नहीं है करने का. आपको पता होना चाहिए कि आप कौन हो. You are the number 1 guy or the number 2 guy or the 3 guy or the 4 guy. It all depends upon you. So it should match your personality, your risk appetite, and that is critical. This is some data. I know this is some data which is till March 20. Once we reach March 21, we'll again refresh the data. What I just told you, I'm showing you in this table. So if you look at the second column, which is the average return, these numbers are basically the returns of Nifty, right? So 1 year, 3 year, 5 years, 7 years, 10 years, 15 years. We look from 1 to 15 years, the return of Nifty, rolling return of Nifty, they're all in a very narrow range. 13.9 is almost 14% से लेके 15% के बीच में, right? So if somebody asks you what's the average return of Nifty basis 7 years CAGR for last 21 years, it's around 14.1, right? And what is the 15-year return? That's around 14%. So there's hardly a difference. 7 year and 15 year में 14% average आता है. But if you look at the range, right? What is the 7 year का best and the worst? So the worst of 7 year is 3.8 and the best is 28. And the 15 year ka best is 9.4 and the worst is 9.4, the best is 17. You see the range has narrowed down. If you go to 3 years, the return is 13.5. Okay, the range is -16 to +57. So it depends upon your horizon. That if you have a higher horizon, the chances are that you will not make negative returns. And you will also get returns which are very close to each other in minimum and maximum terms. So जो best है और जो worst है, उसके बीच का range कम हो जाएगा. So even if you are not very lucky, you still make 9.54% on a 15-year CAGR, which is a great return. And hence it is important to have a very long horizon when you are doing an investment in equity. तो ये निफ्टी का डेटा है. इसके अलावा कई सारे और इंडेक्सेस हैं, म्यूचुअल फंड्स हैं, PMSs हैं, जहाँ पे कि डेटा will be all over the place. But I'm saying that this is the trend, that if you start investing, you should have a long-term horizon. Don't look at average only. Look at the minimum and the maximum that has been generated, because that is the best and the worst performance that you can experience. So what you experience and what you remember are two different things, right? For example, you're in college and you have completed, say, a few years, a few months in the college. What you experience is maybe 1 year of your college life, but what you remember is only that part which is like either very good or very bad, right? So या तो आपने कोई बहुत अच्छा कुछ किया हो तो आपको याद रहा होगा, या तो बहुत कुछ बुरा हो गया होगा तो वो याद रहा होगा. So you don't remember the entire experience. The entire experience is never remembered. You only remember the high point and the low point, and that is what you take back as memories. The same applies here also. The market gives you the bad experience, the worst experience, and the good experience. एवरेज एक्सपीरियंस को देखता है तो डिसाइड कर लेता है वो नहीं करना चाहिए. वर्स्ट एंड गुड भी देखना चाहिए क्या हुआ. You must always review. Life is a flux. job keeps on changing, families change, income changes, health changes. This is happening at a personal level. Then investment environment changes, micro environment change होता है, macro environment change होता है, domestic international events होते रहते हैं. So all this is happening every day. So it's always important that we must review the portfolio, review the investment that we have done on a regular basis, and that will make sure that we are at par with any decision making that we need to do. Right? So never ignore that. The very ancient proverb which says that when is the right time to plant a tree, the answer is 20 years ago. The second question was asked was, when is the second best time to plant a tree? The answer is now. So we must act now. And that is, I think, the slide with which I want to end. And I'll open for any kind of Q&A I would like to ask and try to answer all those question answers.
Thank you, Basu sir. Sir, am I audible?
Yeah, I can hear you.
So thank you, sir, for your valuable words and knowledge, sir, for sharing with us. Thank you very much, sir.